Alrighty, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for clicking on today's video. Today we are going to be talking about another fat acceptance, health at every size, plus size influencer that used to be more in that scene that's kind of taking a step back from everything and reevaluating things. So it's kind of been a very interesting few weeks for that whole scene. A lot of people are kind of changing their minds and they're changing the way that they think about things, which I think is interesting. But I do want to say thank you to Rosie, who we did an interview on the channel recently, for bringing this to me and Rachel, who is my producer. She works with me, my business partner, for bringing this up to our attention. If it wasn't for her, we wouldn't know about this. So I appreciate it, Rosie, and I hope you're doing well. I heard that you are at your lowest weight that you've been in your adult life. So congratulations to Rosie. But Rosie brought this to my attention. So who we're going to be talking about today is going to be this influencer right here. Now, this influencer goes by Dump Truck Jordan on TikTok, which is where they are most popular. Now, I wanted to share some of their videos that they used to post, just to give you a little bit of context. So this, the premise of this is a full day of eating, and it's called What I Eat in a Day as a Fatty.
What I eat in a day as a skinny twig. Let's go. I started my morning off with a protein shake and a lump of kale. Because
so again, I think it's very clear, right? It's very much so satire. So claiming that she's eating one thing while eating something completely different, right?
you know what they say, ladies? Health is wealth, and we're filthy rich. I'm just kidding, bitch. I had my morning bagel. And don't forget, the bagel's merely a vehicle to get the cream cheese into your mouth, all right? Then I had a vanilla latte.
Honestly, that's how it was back in the day. I used to, when I used to eat bagels back in the day, I used to literally make it as a sandwich and just eat it whole like that with so much cream cheese. Now, yeah, I don't think I'd do it like that.
Latte, and I did proceed to shit it out. Okay. Then I went to lunch with my coworker, Tara, and my mommy, because we all work together.
So I think you guys kind of get the idea, right? So it was very much so tongue-in-cheek, very much so kind of making fun of influencer culture, which honestly I am all for. It's kind of funny to me. I think that it's, I get the humor and I get why people were attracted to that, because so much of what you see online, especially now, is very much so, in my opinion, especially these full day of eatings, it is very curated and everything is perfect. And, people have these perfect diets where they make these meals and all this stuff. So there is genuine, I can understand the the pool and why people wanted to watch this. This is another video that I did want to share with you as well, kind of just again to give you a little bit of context. So this video is just kind of, I think, sharing a very similar type of thing.
This is what I eat in a day as a fat bitch. Let's go. So I don't know how many times I have to tell you bitches, I'm going to start my morning off with a Starbucks iced coffee 9 out of 10 times.
I personally think Dunkin' is better than Starbucks, but, whatever.
The shit gets me going, okay? Then I also had a ham and Swiss on baguette. The bitch was extra crunchy today, but for some reason it was extra delicious.
Dude, eating it with getting, stuff all over your shirt, that's unhinged. Absolutely not. There's 0% chance I'm doing that.
You always end up making a mess. Look. Then, for lunch, I did indeed go to Jimmy John's because they're freaky fucking fast.
Okay, so again, I don't think we need to watch the whole video. I think you get the idea. Now, why am I sharing you this? Why am I showing all this stuff? So the reason is because there was a video that was uploaded last night that is a complete shift from that kind of content, but it is also a pretty serious video. But I think that it is incredibly brave. It's incredibly open and incredibly honest. And when I watched it, so Rachel sent this to me last night, again, after Rosie, shout out to Rosie, sent it to her. And I watched it and I was honestly, pretty much dumbfounded. I was very surprised to see this type of video. I just was. So this is the video right here. And it says, what you've all been waiting on. And so without further ado, let's just kind of get into it. There's some serious health talks here, just so you know.
Hi, my name's Jordan. I'm 25, and being fat led me to having cancer.
So obviously I was like, what? Oh, okay. That's, again, whiplash from the previous stuff, which that's why I think this stuff is so brave. Truly is very brave.
let's talk about it, and let's go through a timeline of what I've gone through and kind of like a little update. I know what you're thinking, Jordan. Being fat doesn't cause cancer. And you're right, it doesn't. But some of the negative repercussions of being fat can lead to you getting cancer. On July 5th, 2023, I was diagnosed with stage 1 endometrial adenocarcinoma, or cancer of the uterus. And then on November 22nd, 2023, they found a tumor on what they suspected to be my bladder.
So she's been dealing with this for basically half a year. Now, I just want to say, like, I truly hope everything gets better and that this diagnosis is not super serious and that it's something that you're able to push through because, you know, my family very recently was touched by cancer and we lost someone, and I don't wish that on literally anybody ever. And so I really do hope that these things are figured out because that's truly terrifying.
They did do a cystoscopy, which is essentially just a camera in my urethra, and it did confirm it wasn't on my bladder, but on the outside, pushing onto my bladder. The course of treatment currently has just been Lupron, which is an injection that I get that does put my body into a premenopausal state. So yeah, menopause, just like you think it, wow. Just like your mom talks about with the heat flashes and all of everything that comes with it, and weight loss. It was really hard for me to get on TikTok initially and talk about the fact that I had cancer that was literally caused by me being fat, when I have an entire audience and an entire platform dedicated to showing that your life doesn't have to suck if you are fat.
And that's like that's the crux of this whole thing. And that's why I keep saying that I do think that she is brave. And I know there's going to be detractors that say, well, LOL, this is your fault. You deserve this, whatever. Regardless of like, if you feel that way, one, I disagree. But to not at least be aware or acknowledge the fact that this had to have been terrifying. And I'm sure the amount of inner turmoil that probably happened because of this diagnosis. How do I share it? This is stuff I've talked about so much, right? When we talk about the health at every size, influencers, not saying that that's what she was, but you know, the more extreme sides is like, imagine if something like this is going on with them. They would be terrified to share what they're actually going through, which I think is really sad because they imagine cultivating this whole audience of people, and then you're going through this thing where having support and people to rally around you would be so helpful, but you're afraid to even bring that up because you feel like if you talk about that, so many people are going to completely like judge you or be upset with you, or write you off or say that no, your weight has nothing to do with this cancer, it must be something else. So to also be completely invalidated by your following has to be terrifying. And so I really do commend her for, you know, actually coming out and speaking about this.
I would like to preface this conversation by saying my page has never been about glorifying obesity. It literally has just been me sharing my life and what that looks like as a fat person. So for me to be diagnosed with a cancer that was 100% reliant on the fact that I was fat was a lot to share with over 100,000 people.
I think it's also tough because like most people that are okay, maybe this is wrong, but I feel most people that are relatively rational, that can use rational thought, can still see the fact that their size is causing them problems or not ideal, right? But just because you know that doesn't mean that it's going to be the thing that makes you change everything, right? And so I completely understand, like, this is it feels very similar to how kind of I would deal with my size when I was bigger. I would make a lot of jokes. I would try to make fun of myself. Not saying that's what she was doing, but I would make so many jokes to deflect these very serious feelings that I had. And so that's what it felt like these initial TikToks and these initial posts were, these posts that she was making. It was a way to deflect those feelings, which I don't blame anybody for, because it is very tough being overweight. There's a lot of societal pressures, there's a lot of feelings that you have, and so it makes sense to make that kind of content, right?
I am very excited to update all of you that I have lost 40 pounds if you've seen my previous videos.
Congrats.
I am going to share my weight, so trigger warning if weight is something that is sensitive to you. I started this journey at 465 pounds, and I am now down to 424 pounds as of this morning.
That's, man, I think the thing that's so powerful and why I get so excited about weight loss and talking about this stuff and seeing this is that because it is something that is so, in my opinion, so attainable, that has such an impact on your life, such an impact on the things that you're able to do. And it's this thing that we can achieve, right? Whether we need help from medications or a surgery, or you're able to do it without those things, like, it's something that we can do that can have such an absolutely drastic, like, effect on your life that can make so many things that felt impossible possible. It's incredible. It really is. And I just love hearing about it every time, and seeing people being excited about it makes me happy.
It's such a crazy number when you're saying it out loud to people who don't know that number. Oh, that's wild. Now, I haven't been on a traditional diet, and this has been guided with my doctors, my nutritionists, and everyone else involved. I have been intermittent fasting, so essentially I eat from the hours of 2 p.m. to 6 p.m., and that is it. I have a 4-hour window of which I eat, so I fast for 20 hours a day. In those 4 hours, I only eat about 1,200 to 1,500 calories.
Now, obviously, that's going to be a little bit lower than what I would recommend to most people, but obviously there are other circumstances that are going on here. I just wanted to point that out. Obviously, this is being supervised by professionals, so this doesn't really raise any super crazy red flags to me, because obviously this is something that needs to happen because, you know, there are very serious things going on here.
To shed that weight really, really fast. So that has been kind of what I'm doing. Everyone's been asking for the update video, and I just wanted to sit down and talk to you guys and let you guys know I love you. I know sit-down videos like this are kind of weird, and I don't do them often. I am doing as good as I can. Actually, scratch that. I'm thriving. This diagnosis was the best and the worst thing that ever happened to me. It has challenged everything I think about myself and about life, and it has challenged every relationship that I have. But it has brought me the most peace that I could ever ask for.
That's crazy to hear. In a good way. I think it shows that she obviously is taking this very seriously, and I do think that it also shows that she understands that she has, like, yes, this sucks. This is too bad that you're dealing with this, but it feels like she understands that regardless of that, there is something that she can do about it, and she is doing that. And I think that shows that she is appreciative that she has this thing that she thinks that she can do, right? That's powerful.
So I just wanted to let all of you know that no matter what you're going through, no matter how hard shit is, it does get better. And I love you.
So that's the whole video, and so I wanted to share that. I think that it is a very harrowing and interesting story, and something that I am very sorry that she's going through it, but I am grateful that she is sharing her experience, because I do think that it's important, and I do think that it can help other people. Talking about this stuff, sadly, it is the reality that can happen if you're struggling with your weight, but I think that it's also not the end of the world, and there are things that you can do to change it. So I just wanted to share that. Let me know what y'all think down in the comments section down below. Obviously, if you've probably noticed, we are back in the room, and so we're back in the room, which is nice. It feels nice to be back, but it was a lot of work getting this all set up, so let me know what you think. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Peace.